You remember that show in Beavis and Butthead? Well, it's basically a show about two teenagers named Beavis and Butthead that do some very dangerous stuff, and they obviously are dumbasses at times. However, there is a fury about Beavis and Butthead, and of course, they were from the 1990s, and that show was a big hit amongst everybody who have watched stuff like King of the Hill, etc. Here is my fury. When the glacial winds roared through the mall of a rural town in Highland, a place that most people would think is too backwards for any major event in the world. Little did they know that within its boundaries, Highland has a long history of being habited for many mysterious phenomenon. For some, Highland had have been some haven for weird, unexplainable events, many of which still remain a mystery. On one such event occurred that the town of the arrival of two unlikely characters, Beavis and Butthead. The two teenage boys had in the comedy style of the classic 1990s flick. Beavis and Butthead were welcomed warmly in Highland, even though their behavior was often considered inappropriate by the townsfolk, from looking at women inappropriately to doing some really weird and pretty much inappropriate stuff. From their wild antics and snarky remarks, Beavis and Butthead seem to fit perfectly in the town. They have a few friends such as Stuart, who happens to be a neighbor, and their teacher, Mr. Van Driesen, happens to be very laid back and very calm. However, though, Principal Vicar is honestly a principal who really did not like Beavis and Butthead. Not even one bit. Coach Buzzcut was somewhat of a villain too, because he didn't like the way Beavis and Butthead were behaving and stuff. However, Beavis and Butthead's arrival sparked many those about who they were and why they had managed to show up in the town of Highland. After months of speculation, a theory emerged suggesting that the two boys from Highland came from another dimension, as they seemed to fit perfectly into the town's culture. The theory suggests that Beavis and Butthead were two characters that had been sent to Highlands as avatars of an ancient power, the same power that had brought forth some of the other cartoon characters that the town had grown to love, such as Mr. Anderson from The Simpsons. But the Fury went on to explain that each character has their own task to force and maintain balance and protect the people of Highland from whatever evil might enter its perimeter. With Beavis and Butthead as sentinels, Highland was safer than before. Whether or not this theory was true, Beavis and Butthead sent an unmistakable message. No matter how weird the situation may be, Highland could always find another way to keep this story moving forward.